Ooh. Y'all better get in here. Ooh. We've been gone for a minute, but I'm back with the jump off. Goons in the club, Jason jump off. Make sure all of my privacies are set. Man, here we lit. We lit. What's up? What's up? Get one of these Johns. Where we at with it? Where we at with it? Where we at, dude? All right, I'm just checking all of my the medias, making sure we all good. I've been going for a minute. I'm back with the jumper. Hey, let's see. Check my Ethernet. We should be good on that. Show available networks. Gang, gang, gang. Gang, gang, gang. All right, we in there. All right, we in there. I just want to make sure. What's up? Where y'all at with it? I'm gonna give y'all another minute to get in here. I know I just got to spend a minute, so I'm gonna give y'all a couple seconds. Give y'all a couple seconds. All right, we finna play this countdown. Then we're gonna get into it, car. I'm just waiting for y'all to get up in here a little bit. Oh, stats. Mm-mm-mm. Letting y'all do a little bit before I start. Bottom ain't y'all yet. Horrible. Let's play this countdown and we're gonna get to it. Uh, we're gonna play the title track. Let's go. Uh-huh.
Yeah, they call him DJ Cole. They call it all started as a pure scheme. Enough niggas on my team to lock up spots like Fort Greene. Rick McDonald's, I was 14. Turn that money to raw. Was employed as employed to get more cream. Even shut up blocks like morphine. Shot at cops, chosen knock hustlers, ignore fiends. I make you niggas believers. Never was a dreamer. Burn some niggas with heaters to try to join us, beat it. Cocksuckers. I know these cops watching, plus they rewinding the footage like blockbusting. Niggas got glocks but not busting. Say something, or watch my niggas cock back empty or slay something. Man, a lot of niggas stay fighting. So I got guns to back it, plus all the rocks rock full metal jackets. The bulls into heavy.
What's popping with the population? It's your boy Geechee Smith back with the picks. If y'all missed them, y'all missed this season, that's on y'all. We've made a couple dollars this year. Cousin, we were about 63.5% picks on the year. I bet you I did better than you. It is probably was a little bit better, but we just so happened to miss a couple of weeks on vacation and whatnot. And just keep it with the general flow of how picks were. We were about 65% on the year. This is a low year for me, but I ain't mad at it. I made money. Did you? I know people that made money. Did you? You probably didn't. But if you're here today, you could probably make some money if you want to make some money. That's up to you. That's if you gamble. I don't gamble like that. However, on the things that I did, made a couple dollars. Made a couple dollars, cousin. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Right? All right. So, without further ado, you know the routine. Y'all act like y'all ain't been here. You know what I'm saying? What are we talking about? Playoffs? Don't talk to me about the playoffs. It was a crazy wild year. Um, all of my I got out of the 8 divisional picks, I got 7 of them correctly. And the one that I didn't get correct was the Falcons. And here's the funny thing, the Falcons really should have, because the Falcons were one of the teams that said they were out on Lamar Jackson from the rip before Lamar Jackson even became a free agent. That's how you know it was done in cahoots. Like, why would you say no to Lamar Jackson? And now he arguably the MVP of the league, about to go to the Super Bowl, and the Falcons are watching everybody. If they would have had Lamar Jackson on that team, they would have won the NFC South like easily, very easily. I'm trying to scroll down to show y'all how I had it. I'm gonna show y'all how I had it. This thing is taking forever to scroll. I know it's probably in real time it's good, but it's lagging on my end, so it's just making it a little bit difficult. But I wanted to show y'all my picks. This is if y'all remember, this is how I had it, NFC, right? That wasn't in particular order. I just put it up there that way, but it almost was that way. If you take away that call about the Lions and Cowboys game, it actually would have ended up being that. Um, I knew the 49ers would be one, and I knew the Falcons would be, well, I thought the Falcons or the NFC South would be last, but I had that one in the middle. Um, whatever. And then I had this one. Once again, it wasn't in particular order. It's just that's how I had it. I knew the Texans would be the last one. I wasn't sure who would be 1 through 3. I just put it up there in that order. It was pretty close if you see how I picked it. Like that's how close I was to picking uh, um, the division winners. And that was we're talking about week 10, 11, 12. We ain't talking about late in the season. We talking about week 10, 11, 12 when when I usually make my picks. I used to do it in week 8, but week 8 is just too early, even though it's quote unquote the halfway point. I started doing it a little bit after week 10. I did week 12 this year because there was a lot of anomalies. There was some injuries that were happening, and there was some one-on-one matchups that I wanted to see that that mattered. You know what I mean? Hold on, I want to make sure that my ear is good. Test, test. Okay, we good. Okay, I just want to make sure we was good. Um, so yeah, that's how I had the division. Um, and like I said, we're about 63, 64% on the year for the wins, made a couple dollars. And actually, this pick right here, that last one, the Texans winning that division, is what won me the most money. The Texans one is the one that won me the most money because they had the best odds. There's another couple bets that I have in that I put in the very beginning. If they hit, that's all I'm gonna say. If they hit, ooh Lord, we gonna love it. It's gonna be beautiful, car. It's gonna be beautiful. Appreciate you. Oh, who that dude in the picture with you, Mrs. Taylor? Damn. Damn. But anyway, we only got about what was that, 6 games, 6 whatever, whatever. It doesn't matter how many it is. Just so y'all are reminded of my Super Bowl prediction that I picked also back with Week 12. So y'all be like, oh man, you only picking it because this is what I picked way back in Week 12. 49ers over the Ravens. Just so y'all have an idea of what I picked. Now, depending on what happens in the divisional round, is depending if I'm rocking with the Ravens or the Texans. You know what I'm saying? And because matchups matter. As we are going along, we understand that matchups matter. So that's my Super Bowl pick. But back to playoffs. Don't talk to me about the playoffs. All right, first up, we got the Texans. Let me bring up my screen. Add it to the John. Coming to the stage is my man's in them on the 13th. We got the Browns. We got the Texans. If you would have told me this was a playoff game, I would have laughed at you. Browns and the Texans. But that's so 2024, right? To have the Browns and the Texans playing each other and that it might actually be a solid game. What? Are you spitting me, God? However, so the Browns, I told you guys when Joe Flacco got picked up that the Browns now have a serviceable quarterback, but they have a championship defense. The Browns are legit. The Browns are legit. However, so are the Texans. The Texans are crazy legit. Um, Now I'm gonna show y'all some defensive Here's the thing: the Browns, yeah, when it comes to yards, they're great. Look at their points. They're tied for 13th with 21.3, and then their last three, they're 24.3. Houston is 20.8, and last three, 19.3. So Houston is projecting at a better trajectory than Cleveland is. Um, yeah, so this is a tougher game than I think even when games are this tough and games are this close, I always tell people, number one, look at the quarterbacks. I think the Texans have a generational quarterback. CJ Stroud is we probably are looking at greatness and don't even realize it. It's hard to say because it's a rookie, it's his first year. There's a such thing as a sophomore slump, but this dude is balling. Like he arguably should be in the MVP conversation. I'm not saying he should win it by any means, but he should be in the conversation without any slander. So okay, so the Texans are giving up the least amount of points, and especially in the last few days, right? Um, and now let's go to offense. Let's go to offense. We just talking about points. We don't care about yards. We're talking about points because points matter. Yards do not. One of the years, one of the Super Bowl winners, they gave up a whole bunch of million yards, but they only gave up a few amount of points, which means bends don't break. Get you in the red zone is a different story, right? Okay, so now when it comes to offense, Cleveland, look at that right there. You see that 29 over the last three? They're averaging 23.3, 29. Houston, 23.7. At home, 24.6. Cleveland, away, 24.4. Right there. You see that? That point two of a difference? Point two of a difference. That point two of a difference is why I'm picking. If this thing shows up, sorry. The Texans and the over. I'm picking the Texans and the over. It's a playoff game, playoff atmosphere. CJ Stroud is a baller. Second half, Stroud. Lord have mercy. I think the Browns are going to do a little bit in the first half, and Texans are going to start off slow as they always do. But they're a great second half team. Jim Schwartz's defenses aren't the greatest in the second half. They give up points. They bend, don't break in the first half with the yards, but in the second half, you can score points on that defense, and that's when CJ Stroud balls. And I like CJ Stroud and a tight one, Paul's second half. That's what we rocking with. All right. Take it or leave it. Hate it or love it. The underdogs on top. Next game. We got the Dolphins versus the Chiefs. Now that one's gonna be. I went back and forth with this game. I went back and forth with it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Until the weather hit, and then I thought about the weather, and I thought about the last time it was a crazy snow game, and there was a team that had a nice run defense. Um, Ironically, the running back was Raheem Mostert, and the offensive coordinator was Mike McDaniels, and it was a 49ers team because they went into Green Bay in that weather, and Raheem Mostert ran for 200 and something yards on that Green Bay defense, and Green Bay was the overwhelming favorite that year. I missed the context on this because it's dragging a little bit with the game, but not with y'all. I missed the context on that because it's such dragging on my side. My apologies, sir. Kind sir. Um, the Chiefs and the Dolphins, and then that weather. Raheem Mostert, Mike McDaniel's. Guess where they're at now? They're in the Dolphins. That weather bodes well for a run game. Um, and the Dolphins have a way better run game than the Chiefs. Now, the Chiefs' run game is underrated, especially Isaiah Pacheco. And it is hard to go into that Kansas City dome with that loud field and do anything with it. Oh, going back and forth with the game, but not with you. Got you. We going back and forth with the game, but not with you, Ziggins, at all. Um, so I once again, let's go back to these stats. Let's go. Let's let this statistics talk. We like statistics and analysis, right? All right. So in offenses, Miami 29.2 last three. Look at that right there, 18.3, which means they ain't been putting up no points like that in the last three. Okay, let's see what the Chiefs look like. The Chiefs middle of the road offense all year. They've only put up 17.3. Only 13 in their last, but that was because the starters out, so on and so forth. This is what they do at home. 23. What do the Dolphins do at way? 26. Dolphins put points on the board. All right, let's look at defense now. Let's look at defense. Remember, we're going off of points. I don't care about no yards, none of that. That means nothing to me when it comes to the playoffs. Playoffs is 0-0 score, right? I mean, not score yards and 0-0 record. However, your score, however you score throughout the year, is usually how you score. So that it's the reset. It's the great reset. Now it's the great reset. So now defenses. Kansas City, look at that. Kansas City sneakily had the number 2 defense at 17.3 points. Last three, 16.3. They wasn't giving up a lot of points. Now Miami, where's Miami defense? Way down here at 22, at 23 points. In their last three, they're averaging 32.3 points. That's bananas. Oh, and away, 29, 30 points. Miami don't play anybody that has a winning record well at all. They are a suspect, right? Um, but that weather and that offense and the Chiefs have been struggling. And with that cold weather and those drops, even if the Chiefs win, I'm going off of we're going off of points, baby. I'm going with the Dolphins and under. Run game, run game. Yeah, that's us. Or turnover galore with that weather. We're going with the other. We're going with the Dolphins 4.5. Take it or love it. Hate it or love it. Down the dogs on top. And I'm going to shine, homie, until my heart stops. I even think the Dolphins are going to win. I think the Dolphins are going to win. I think the Dolphins are going to win. That's a hard one to pick, though. I'm not going to lie to you. That's a hard one to pick. Well, this thing, I'm going to take out. This is going to We back with it. We back with it. Test, test. We back with it. Okay. That's it. Sorry. I had to, for some reason, for this on my end, the Wi-Fi works better on my end. I'm sorry if it's choppier on you, but I can't lag like that for when I'm going back in between screens. Cool, cool. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's better on Wi-Fi, which is weird. I know that my router's right here. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I know the router is right there. So the Wi-Fi just works a lot better than the landline for some reason, which is weird. It's so weird. But anyway, we like the Dolphins. Next game. Oh yeah, that's better. Smooth. That's better. You see how easy that is? It's going between. Yeah, there we go. All right. Now we got the Bills and the Steelers. Man, this used to be a fire behind game. Um, but now we got Mason Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer for the Steelers as a quarterback. But Mike Tomlin, we better put some respect on Mike Tomlin's name, though. We need to put some respect on his name. Um, and Josh Allen seems like he's getting worse, and he seems like he's regressing. But they have gotten better since um, since they fired what's his name, their offensive coordinator. His name is escaping me right now, but it doesn't matter. We're gonna go to the statistics, right? So NFL teams opponents playing for games. So we're going straight to the defense. So look at Buffalo's defense. Buffalo got a good defense. You see that? Number 4, 18.3. Their last three, 19. The last one, 14. At home, 14.8. It's going to be cold. They don't give up a lot of points, period. But look who's number 6. Sneakily. I don't think y'all knew that. Y'all better put some respect on my man Joe Butterfield's Pittsburgh Steelers. Look at that. 19 and 19.1 tied with Tampa. We're going to talk about it. 19.1. Their last three, 14.7. Last one, 10. Away, 18.9. They're actually better away because Pittsburgh is a horrible stadium. If you ever been to that stadium, it's horrible. These things matter. For anybody that's played football, stadiums matter, elements matter, traveling matters. All lives matter, brother. Man. All these things matter, right? Pittsburgh do not. You could tell they're a product of good coaching, and you could tell Buffalo's just a product of good talent. Pittsburgh does not turn the ball over like that either. That's the other key. And guess who does turn the ball over like that? Josh Allen. But that's defense. Now let's get to this offense. Because we talking about points. Remember, we talking about nothing but points. That's all I'm talking about is points. I'm just showing you the data. Don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. This is why I'm at 64% and y'all still, you know what I mean? Offense. Here we go. Buffalo. Look at that right there. 26.5 all year. Last three, 24. Right? At home, they're putting up 30 at home. Pittsburgh, what are y'all doing? 17, 18 points a game. However, look what they did their last three. 27. Who? Mason Rudolph, a veteran. Veteran QBs matter. Y'all spread to stop playing. Don't forget, young men. Raise your hand. Any young men in the chat that is older than 25 or 22, 23. Raise your hand, please, if you're older than 23. There's a reason why car insurances and rates and things like that go down after you're 25. They say the level of mental maturity is by the age of 25. If I'm correct, give me a thumbs up in the chat or give me a whatever. Right? Mental maturity 25. Veteran quarterbacks matter because of mental maturity. Some of these people have things going on in their lives, and one of those things is being a stupid little kid and thinking you know everything. And sometimes it takes you just to mature as a man and grow up a little bit and start getting out of your own head. Mason Rudolph has intangibles of a quarterback. He's made it to the NFL, right? So that means he has the intangibles to be a quarterback. True story. True story from a teacher. Um, So Mason Rudolph has intangibles to be a quarterback. I'm not saying Mason Rudolph is good. So don't even, he's serviceable, just like Joe Flacco. We only need you to be serviceable when we, as a team, don't turn the ball over, right? And we take the ball as a defense. We are stingy with points, and then we creating points. As of right now, the last three, we've created 27 points per game average ish, right? And not only that, we're the same everywhere we go. 18.3, 17.4 is a point difference. We the same everywhere we go, cuz home or away. We everywhere. That's what we doing. It don't matter. We the same team. So that lends me to believe the hype around this 10, and then they try to throw the monkey wrench in there with the 36. So this is what I'm gonna do for y'all. This is what I deciphered after all of that. Because Josh Allen turns the ball over. It's gonna be cold. It's Buffalo. It's cold in January in Buffalo. If you don't know, ask the homies, right? Um, this is what I'm doing for you. Are we going with Steelers with the 10? I think Buffalo's going to win, though. I'm not going back and forth with you about the win or loss. I'm really not going back and forth with you about the win or loss. Buffalo's still a better team, but because of coaching, Mike Tomlin ain't going to get blown out by 10 points. That's the key. That defense and that defensive margin is not going to allow them to get blown out, and that weather is not going to get. And Josh Allen throwing interception is not going to allow them to get blown out. They're going to win because remember, we go back to quarterbacks. Josh Allen's a better quarterback than Mason Rudolph. So that's where we're going with that. Is that good with y'all? Y'all rocking with that? All right, Cowboy. These are all like. Let's go back to this. All right. Deshaun Watson, the quarterback for the Browns, used to play for the Texans. They traded him to the Browns. So you got that dynamic going on right there. Dolphins and Chiefs. Um, they already played each other. That's a nice little dynamic. This one right here, that used to be old school dynamic. We ain't worried about that. But this one right here, Mike McCarthy, who was the coach for the Cowboys, won a Super Bowl with the Packers. And the Packers have turned it on their last few games. Jordan Love is proving that sitting for 3 years and growing into your grown man body is a real thing. That's why I can't write off Trey Lance yet, because he didn't even start a full season worth of games yet to see what he can do. But he's growing into his grown man body, and he still looked like a little kid when he was up there. He looked like a little kid. Trey Lance still looked like a little boy. He just turned 21, right? But Jordan Love is playing and balling. He had a better year than Aaron Rodgers did last year for the Packers, for that same Packers team. Remember Aaron Rodgers talking about, "Oh, I'm not throwing to anybody. Give me Lazard and Randall Cobb." Because who says I want real receivers like Lazard and Randall Cobb, right? But Jordan Love didn't complain the whole time. He just secretly put up 32 touchdowns. That's all. Nothing major, 4 grand. You know what I mean? I did slander Matt LaFleur's name because I said he wasn't going to be anything outside of Aaron Rodgers. I take that back. I apologize, Matt. I apologize. Maybe Aaron Rodgers was holding you back. Mr. Fake Vaccine himself could have been holding you back. My apologies, my good brother. All right. What? Forget all that. Let's go to the tail of the tape and talk about the defense. I mean, the statistics. All right, NFL points per game. We got Dallas. We know what Dallas has been doing all year to everybody. Last three, they put up 26 per game at home. They put up 37 and a half at home. Like, that's atrocious. That's crazy. Dak Prescott, me and my homie Keith, we done eliminated Dak Prescott slander. You know what I mean? We were on a campaign to stop Dak Prescott slander. It's hard to say that because it is the Cowboys. Now, I'm not one to be bashing people's teams, but only team I do bash is the Cowboys, just because it's the Cowboys. It's kind of like the Yankees. You know what I'm saying? Or the Patriots. You either like them or you hate them. Hate them, love them, right? But we gonna. I'm not a hater though. Anybody knows me. I'm not a hater. We're gonna stop that Dak Prescott slander. He's responsible for it because we ain't gonna pretend like Tony Pollard's running all over the place. That's Dak Prescott and C.D. Lamb. That's a weird sentence. Dak Prescott and C.D. Lamb. Is that even English? Press 1 for Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott 3 for C.D. Lamb. So we got Dallas with that offense. I just went on a tangent. I love it. And then look at Green Bay. Look at Green Bay. 12th offense, right? Look at their last three. 27, almost 30 points a game. Dallas last three, 26. Anomalies. They put up 38, but they were playing who? The Commanders. So they got somebody that could bang with them. 27.7 to 26. They got somebody that's going to bang with them because look at what the Green Bay does away. 25.3. Green Bay said, we showing up to your crib. We going to your house and we going to put up points, especially in the last three. Jordan Love is getting more familiar with the offense. Matt LaFleur does run a complex offense. He is out of that Mike Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan-ish tree. Complex West Coast offenses with complex jargon. Sean McVay's tree. You could say he's more of a Sean McVay tree, but that's still a Mike Shanahan tree, right? What am I saying with all that rhetoric and about the Packers and putting up points and things like that? You know what that's a recipe for? That's a recipe for over 50 and a half. And the Packers, I like the Packers with the points. I think the Cowboys are going to win though. Because remember, when teams are close, we're going to go with the quarterback, Dak Prescott. We are stopping the Dak Prescott slander. This game is where we're stopping that Dak Prescott slander. Well, if he goes against another team, it's a different story for a different day. But against this Packers team, you're going to light them boys up. He just ain't going to light them up 7.5 points more, I don't think, personally. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But if I'm not, you lost a couple of dollars. You hear me? Next up, we got Rams Lions. More storyline. More storyline. So the Rams traded Jared Goff to the Lions for Matthew Stafford. So these quarterbacks done flip flop this shit. Flip flop. It was a wolf, goddammit. Big black stinging ass wolf. Vampire in Brooklyn. So the Rams have been hot lately, and the Lions don't really fare that well against teams with winning records. And the Rams are getting hot, and Puka Nakua is the second coming of Cooper Cup because Puka Nakua, Cooper Cup. I sound like I'm speaking another language. Puka Nakua, Cooper Cup. Puka Nakua, Cooper Cup. Top. Y'all just mad because they don't look like us. But that might be one of the top wide receiver duos in the league right now, Cooper Cup and Puka Nakua. That's fun to say. I feel like I speak another language. I feel like I'm fluent. I feel like I speak fluent Puka. So the Rams, basically, these teams don't put up any defense and they put up great offenses. This might be one of the best statistical game in playoff history. I think I might call it and say this might be the best statistical game in playoff history. I'm not putting my reputation and nothing like that on there. Like I ain't doing all that. But I think it can be you see that 51.5 points. This game might blow that out the water because they don't play any defenses, and both of these teams are gritty when it comes to putting up points. Let's go to the statistics. All right, NFL teams points per game. The offense. Who's up here at number 5? Detroit, right? At 27 points per game. The last 3, 26, almost 26 and a half, right? And at home, 30 and a half, almost 31 points. Who's close to that? Number 8, the Rams. At what? About 4 points less, 3 points, 3.5 points less, 23 and a half. But look at this last 3 right here, 25.7. That's not even a full game less, which means they are on your tail, right? And look what they're doing it away and home. They the same everywhere they go. Because here's the thing: the Rams don't even still sell out their own stadium, so that's why they're the same everywhere they go. Because they basically always play home. I mean, play away games anyway. When they play the 49ers in Los Angeles, the 49ers have 65 to 70% of the ticket sales. They play the Chargers is pretty close to it. Like they suck in their own stadium. That means they the same everywhere they go. And the Rams, I mean, the Lions haven't beat anyone with a winning record. I mean, you could have really beat the Cowboys, but woulda, coulda, shoulda, gooba, gooba, gooba. And with the playoffs, things get magnified on who you are, right? That's why I always another thing I always say about the playoffs: you get magnified on who you are, and the Lions are losers, and the Rams were just here a few years ago. We're not gonna pretend like they're not a good team. So I'm going actually with the Rams straight up to win and that over for the greatest statistical game that might be recorded. Next up, last but not least, we got the Bucks and the Eagles. The Bucks and the Eagles. It's sad to say because this shouldn't be, but this is about at first this was a give me game for the Eagles, in my opinion. I say whoever was getting a 5 seed between the Eagles and Cowboys 2 and 5, they just gonna blow the Cowboys out. I mean, blow the Bucks out, coming to Tampa Bay, and whatever. And then my people from back home coming down for the game, come on down, come on down. I'll treat y'all to some hospitality, show y'all around to one of these bars where y'all gonna lose to the Bucks at. Potentially. Anyway, I don't know. Who knows? We're going to look at the data to determine that. We're not going to just make rash decisions. However, the top 3 offensive people for the Eagles are out. Jalen Hurts is hurt. I mean, it's you got a name like that, you're almost asking for it. His middle finger is like this. Um, can you see that? Like that, he looked like he's constantly throwing up the Crip sign. Like his joint is like that's what his middle finger looks like. It's his throwing middle finger too. I know you could get pulled back and put a shot in it and so on and so forth. However, that stuff hurts. And Todd Bowles has shown you guys what he does in the playoff with his defenses. I'm gonna lead y'all with that, and then we're gonna jump into the statistical analysis of this game. All right, points per game. Oh, I forgot to do the defense for the Rams and the Lions. Oops, my bad. Let me do that real quick. Let me review that real quick. Rams and Lions. Let me do that real quick. Because then we'll start with the defense with the Bucks and Yams. Okay. Rams and the Lions. When it comes to defense, look at the Rams. Down here at 19, 22, last 3, 20. So that's who they've been all year round. In a way, they give up a little bit more, right? And look at the Lions way down here. I know it's a point, but they're way down here, 23rd. Last 3, 21 and a half. They give up a little bit less than the Rams, but that was also opponents. Look what they do at home though. They like, yeah, it's only 21, so that's why. But anyway, so back to the Bucks and the Eagles. So let's go up to defense. Look at where Tampa Bay's at. Do y'all see where Tampa Bay defense is? It's like finding Where's Waldo, right? There it is. They're a top 10 defense. Yeah, I bet y'all didn't know that. I bet y'all ain't know secretly Todd Bowles has that unit that y'all can't name six people on as a top 10, not even 10 unit, uh, giving up less than 20 points again. They give up 19. Look what they're giving up the last three, 11.7. Look what they gave up. Look what they blanked. It's the Panthers. It's the Panthers. We'll keep it real. However, it's still an NFL team. Like it's still an NFL team. But look what they did the last three. So, but that shows you something. So if you take out that, that means they gave up what 23 points and two. Yeah, that's. I mean, listen, y'all play with them if you want to. Look what they're doing at home. 17 and a half, 17.1. So they're not giving up a lot. Let's see where the Eagles defense is. Look at the Eagles defense. Look at that. They had one last year. They had the number one rush defense and like number three pass defense. This is not the same team. Look at that. They're gonna have 25, almost 26 points. Look what they're giving up in the last three. They quit. If you want to look at a team that quit on their team, on their coach, look at that right there. Look at that. Who else is giving that up? Washington. You know why? Because they quit on their coach, got fired, should be fired. Look at all these. Miami should be. Look at Atlanta, got fired. Minnesota might be getting fired, right? To be giving up those type of points in the last three, like Mike McDaniel, you better watch out, bro. You got one more year of this nonsense in December losing like that. You got one more year, African American brother. They're gonna think you black. You can talk like however you want to talk and walk and identify whatever you want. They want to see that 50% black. You keep doing that right there. All right. So Eagles, that defense, atrocious. So let's go to the offense though, because we go by statistics. Offense, Eagles, they're up there. That's the thing. They're gonna put points on the board. They're averaging 25 and a half last three, 25 points. Saying the last one was 10. That's a cause for alarm because the trend is actually going down. So that's those numbers are lying because it's going in this direction. So that 24.7 is indicative of the one game where they scored a bunch of points. So they're not doing that well. They're doing better at home, but look at their away. They need milk outside of the Eagles Stadium when they ain't getting pumped up. Tampa Bay, that's their problem. They ain't putting no mother points up. Even when they beat the Panthers, they only put 9 points up. Like their last three, don't their offense is trash. They're better away than they are at home. That's why this was a hard game to call. That's why. But when it's close, we go to quarterbacks. Baker Mayfield, sad to say, is a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts right now because Jalen is hurt. And I'm gonna go with the defense of the Bucks over, and that's why I chose over because the Eagles don't have any defense. We're going with the Bucks for the final. We're going with the Bucks for the final. Let's see if we can find that NFL pick'em thing. All right. So now you can look at it real time. No, that ain't what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. Now we can do it real time so you can see going off these picks. Come on, bruv. Oh, now you won't be. Okay, we see what you're doing. We see what y'all doing out here. Who was the other one? Maybe it's this one. I don't want to do all that, cuz I just want to create a bracket real quick. Like, just stop being dumb. You know what I'm saying? There we go. All right. Now you can see it real time. So who did we pick? We picked the Texans. Cool. Then we picked the Dolphins. That changes things. That changes things. Then we picked the Bills. And then on this side, we picked the Bucks. We picked the Rams. And we picked the Cowboys. So that's what my bracket is looking like right now as far as how I picked it. So take a screenshot so you can see it. Because that's what I look like right now as of today. All right. And then next week, we'll go over what that looks like. Because these things matter. Because I think it could be potentially like this. Potentially like this. But we'll wait. We'll wait. We'll wait. We'll wait. We'll wait. We'll wait. Because we're going to go 1 week at a time. All right. Let me know how y'all feel about these picks. Make sure y'all take a screenshot. Like, comment, subscribe. And as always, this is your boy Geechee.
Metal, watch me blast it. We toe tag fast. Play some more metal, rapping plastic. The eye didn't abide the body. Yo, they were trash. It is tragic. Once it open and shut, get on your face. What a needed parade. All actions that take place is here to rash the game. Not pussy charges to the game. I said charges to